Buongiorno, John Bell speaking here from the Research and Innovation Healthy Planet Directorate. To Filippo Di Rossi and Sheila Heymans, I send you our best regards, and hopefully we can meet on the coasts of the Mediterranean at some point in the near future to celebrate the great work that you're here to talk about today. So, dear friends and stewards of the Mediterranean, dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the kind invitation to this final event of this critically important project that I had the pleasure to launch now some years ago in Rimini at Ecomondo. And I guess what we can say now about our work together in the Mediterranean, Mare Nostrum Futura Nostra Est, what we do in the Mediterranean, our future, our inner sea, is also our future for the oceans and seas in the European Union's transition. I cannot be with you today, I'm sorry, but I'd like to take the opportunity to emphasise the importance of a healthy Mediterranean Sea to promote social and economic growth now and for future generations. It doesn't require me to say that the Mediterranean Sea is a crucial crossroads for the history, economy and culture of Europe, the Middle East and North African countries. It is the centre in many ways of European civilization, trade, commerce and culture, and a lot of our fate will be decided on how well we work with our Mediterranean Sea. It's a living witness of the deprived status of our environment. It's also highly exposed to climate change, warming 20% faster than the world average, with visible impacts on the marine environment. An estimated 229,000 tonnes of plastic is leaking into the Mediterranean Sea every year. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought back some unsustainable habits, increased consumption of single-use plastic packaging, littering, and the use of personal cars, for example. But at the same time, it's brought a new understanding of how much we depend and interact with our natural world for our health and the resilience of our societies. As I said before, the challenge of the century is to reconcile the biosphere with our economy and society, and it starts here. So we know there can be no return to business as usual. We need an economy that gives back to the earth more than it takes away. At the start of the European Commission's mandate, the European Green Deal was made our number one priority with the overarching goal of a climate-neutral Europe by 2050. That's a 30-year commitment beyond a policy or investment cycle. It's who we are as the European Union. It's an ambitious package of measures showing the seriousness of getting it done, looking at how we can achieve the necessary environmental, social, and economic transformations required to bring about a greener, cleaner, fairer Europe now and for future generations, ensuring all the while that nobody is left behind. So it's quite a challenge. Research and innovation has to act and step up to become an enabler of the Green Deal transitions across all major work streams: climate, energy, industry, circular economy, buildings, mobility, food and farming, biodiversity, ecosystems and pollution. There's 54 groups working in the Commission at the moment across the Green Deal on 11 work streams. So we're at this critical moment of transition where science is shifting from being an observer to an actor, from evidence to prediction, from research to policy. We need science, research and innovation to light the way through the 21st century by demonstrating, piloting and scaling up new approaches and solutions. So we can proudly together look forward to our new Horizon Europe programme for research and innovation, which is starting this year and which I think will set the scene for a major transformation. The new the new Horizon Europe programme offers new policy instruments beyond the traditional research and innovation topics to help with green and blue transitions. One of the big novelties are the proposed Horizon Europe missions that aim to deliver evidence-based solutions to some of the greatest challenges facing our world. The mission board has proposed a mission Starfish 2030 to restore our ocean and waters with targets by 2030, and under the outstanding leadership of Pascal Lamy and a board which really many of us will know, there's a great ambition to change the context by preventing and remedying pollution, enabling our zero pollution ambition, protecting and reversing the degradation of aquatic ecosystems in line with the EU biodiversity strategy, and building this new sustainable blue economy that is climate neutral and sustainable and fair. So in the Commission, we're now working on a detailed implementation plan for the mission that will hopefully be fully rolled out later this year. Now, regional cooperation, such as we have witnessed with across the Mediterranean, which is really inspiring and exemplary, offers a unique opportunity for people to sit around the table and to be part of deliberating on decisions, be part of the dialogue, owning the process, setting direction, and committing with engagement. So you've already experienced and shown the way on how to work together on a sea basin scale. This has really been impressive and something which has led the way for other areas and other sea basins and oceans. We'd like to replicate such an approach now and scale it up to a European partnership, which brings together the different European sea basin cooperative experiences and strategic research and innovation agendas into one overarching programme with the resources to do what is needed. I'm referring to the future partnership of a climate neutral, sustainable and productive blue economy to which you have and are contributing to, and which will be kicked off as a co-funded partnership under Horizon Europe. Whether we talk about the future mission, this partnership, or the Horizon Europe programme in its entirety, what really counts is actually your constant engagement, your cooperation, your insight, your willingness to continue to work to enhance the much needed knowledge, to upscale it, to co-create with the coastal communities, to connect those who are going to be most affected by what happens, and to jointly deploy the proposed solutions. Pooling our beliefs, our efforts and our resources has been the leitmotif of the BlueMed initiative, and to keep the spirit for any future work will be essential for any successful joint initiative. So I'm calling on you to be part of the animating spirit of taking the spirit of the BlueMed and making it the way in which we work across the sea basins of Europe for the years to come. On the 2nd of February, 6 years after the first Union for the Mediterranean Ministerial Declaration on the Blue Economy, the ministers of the member states of the Union for the Mediterranean, including the EU, and the 15 countries of the southern and eastern Mediterranean adopted a new declaration. The ministerial declaration firmly commits to cooperating closely towards a sustainable management of the Med. It's worth noting that ministers welcome the BlueMed initiative and the pilot initiative for a healthy, plastic-free Mediterranean Sea, and call upon all Union for the Mediterranean countries to contribute to its implementation. So this is a really important recognition of your work, and it's a milestone in cooperation development across the region. Let me congratulate you on the success of your work, which was fully recognised by the ministers. It is precisely the cooperation at all the relevant levels, stimulating pan-Mediterranean network building and coordinating thematic platforms. The CSA is an example of achieving outstanding results on implementing and operationalising, including a shared strategic research and innovation agenda and co-creating the implementation plan, supporting the work of the group of senior officials officially appointed from the Mediterranean countries that strongly steer and contribute to the implementation of the priorities. And I want to thank my colleagues here for making this happen. The rollout of the pilot initiative for a healthy, plastic-free Mediterranean Sea and support for the startup actions. It's a great record and a great legacy of achievement. There's no doubt that these are important milestones and a solid basis to contribute to the new sustainable blue economy strategy in the Mediterranean countries and beyond, and to create and enhance a network of BlueMed concerned and active people. I'd like in particular to mention the BlueMed Young Communication Ambassadors, who will also help create and enhance the future common paths in the co-responsibility spirit of the One Planet, One Ocean approach. Our Commissioner Maria Gabriel has been very much impressed by the work of our young ambassadors in the Black Sea and in other parts of the Mediterranean. And she's giving a very strong message that she strongly supports this initiative and this action to bring the next generation and put them at the wheel in terms of communicating the needs of the sea basins and what it is that can be done to mobilise people to deliberate a better future for the Mediterranean and the sea basins around. So, in conclusion, we need a massive scale-up of a social governance, business and technological innovation to enable the Green Deal transformation, setting us on a path to a cleaner, greener, fairer society. The goal here is a new destination for each and every one of us in the European Union, that by 2050, where we live, the destination will be a different, better, cleaner, healthier, fairer, and more sustainable place. The kind of thing you'll be able to sit around and say, I was part of that when we started clearing up our Mediterranean through cooperation together and imagination and the harnessing of knowledge and science and regional cooperation. So we've seen in this dreadful pandemic the urgent need for fundamental transformation in how we do things, this reconciliation of the biosphere and the economy. And we need to show people that the transitions are beneficial for our health and well-being, for the economy, for the planet, and ultimately for our families, our friends, our children, our neighbourhoods, and those who follow us in the society that they will inherit. Because after all, that's what the Mediterranean centre of Europe has shown us, is how civilization is possible. Research and innovation as a policy for opportunity in the long term is ideally placed to play a major role in our ambition to be at the forefront of the transformation, to set a new direction, and to give support to policymakers and citizens and investment. This will be very important in the recovery period. So it's very important to continue the work of the group of senior officials, and we will continue to co-chair it together with our partners from the Union for the Mediterranean and with the full support of all the members. I'm very, very pleased to have this opportunity to be at this milestone moment with you all today. I think it's a great, great sign of achievement that we can get from the imagination and the aspiration that we started off with in Rimini in Ecomonda to the realization and the implementation and the future that we see here today. So you have our commitment to move forward in this spirit together. We're all responsible individually and collectively for the great transformation that is ahead of us. Let's work together for a bluer, fairer, more sustainable future for the Mediterranean Sea. And I'd like to congratulate all of you involved in the BlueMed CSA and the organisation of this final conference. I wish you a very successful 2 days and look forward to the outcomes. Grazie mille. Thank you very much.